to ask you, Donna, when you're going through it as a child, what kind of love do you think you needed then versus what kind of love do you think you need now?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I'm going to say, I think as a child, I needed unconditional love. I needed someone to love me no matter what mistakes I made. I needed someone to hear me, see me, value me, care about me, take care of me if I was sick or if I was sad or if I needed help. So I guess that would be unconditional love. What love do I need now as an adult from a partner, as opposed to my children? Oh,
That is always the more difficult one of the two.
wow. I don't know if it really differs for me. I feel like I want someone to love me, see me, hear me, care about me, and love me despite my faults. Um, yeah, that's a really, really tough question. I'm gonna say for me, it's the same. And maybe I'm not healed enough to be able to come up with a better, not a better, because my answer is my answer, right? But maybe a more concrete answer. What I do know is that I give love the way that I want to receive it, which is why I found myself loving the wrong people because I love broken individuals and I try to fix them. I don't try to fix them. This is not something that I say to myself, hey, that guy, he needs some help. Go over there and start talking to him. But it just so happens that I end up connecting with people who are broken and innately I want to fix them. So I want to show them you are worthy. You're lovable. You're an amazing person despite your faults, and I'm going to love you no matter what, in hopes that they will give it back to me. Now, and I'm not consciously thinking that. It's just what ends up happening in relationships, unfortunately, for me.
Do you now my next question would be, do you think you're worthy of the love that you just described?
Absolutely, I'm worthy of it. I'm beyond worthy of it. Not only am I worth, okay, so yeah, that's my first answer, right? But deep down inside, I probably feel like I'm not. I beat myself up. I am the hardest on myself, harder on myself than I am on anybody else in the whole world. I hold myself to this high standard. And that's a good thing because it's gotten to me to where I am today. But when I'm laying in bed by myself, when I'm driving in the car, when I'm at the gym, the tears start to flow because I think, man, I really fucked that up, didn't I? God darn it. Why did I do that? Why can't I be this? Or, I sometimes even perseverate over a conversation that I might have had with a coworker or my children that I wish I did differently. And I beat myself up over that. And again, that's something that I think people who are born into or grow up in a little more of a secure, loving home don't struggle with as much as people like you and I.
In my 20s, I wasn't worthy of the type of love that I needed. Even though I was able to receive love, I was receiving love by people, to your point, that were broken in some way, or maybe parts of them were missing. And I always call that like the Humpty Dumpty syndrome, right? They fall in and they need someone to piece them back together again. And that
Mm.
became me. And it sounds like in a lot of ways that became you. And what I found looking back in hindsight, the reason why I was maybe attracting or surrounding myself with people like that, it could be romantic, it could be platonic friendships, it was just acquaintances, is because I was using it as a distraction. So I don't have to do the work that was necessary for me to be better. Is that something that
I'm
you experience as well?
I'm so sorry to laugh, but yes, I believe As hard as that is to admit, I think that that would be a very accurate statement. It's easier for me to come in and fix you and help you and give you what you need rather than it is for me to face the fact that I'm broken. And that brokenness has hurt my children in some ways. And that brokenness still hurts my children in some ways, you know? But I also know that I love my kids and that no matter what, I will always do whatever I can to make sure that they're taken care of.